that's really what we're trying to get at, is just being able to make it a little more realistic, to get places. Hello there, and the last time we left off, we were just finished up being able to move behind objects and have it show up in the field of view. So today we're going to work on character movement speed. So we added some mud puddles, and this time I've actually created some ice that we're going to have. So our character shouldn't be able to move across other objects always at the same rate, so we're going to add some environment variables in order to modify speed depending on what you're touching. So let's get started with that. So back in our character with our initial character, we have a move rate, which we originally stubbed in just to be able to set at one location. But we're also going to create a base move rate. That way we can always go back to our original rate of movement for the character. So we're going to create a base move rate. We're going to go back into his move script. And we're going to actually add a couple of new variables here, because we are going to make quite a few tests for the different movements, and we don't need to add a lot of additional overhead for that. So we're going to create a new X and a new Y. So this is going to be when our character is going to move, we're going to assume he's going to be able to move where he's going, but we're going to test it first. So we're going to test the location. So this new X, new Y will be, where is this character going to be going? So instead of doing a couple of these down here, we'll switch it to in our case statement down here, we're going to go back to the new X and a new Y. All we've done so far is just take out the location that we're going to test and move it down into one statement versus others. So instead of adding this, we're going to actually instead of an addition, we're going to just do an assignment, because we've already figured out where this person is going to be going. So just to verify we haven't broken anything before we move on. So yeah, the character still moves, he goes around, exactly what we want. So we're going to create a new parent, new parent object. And this one's going to be, we're going to call it ground mod, ground rate. We'll call it that, ground rate. And we're going to have a create event with a little bit of actions, set variables, and we're going to we'll actually say what we're going to set the move rate, and something else I wanted to set. Oh, we're going to create types this time. We might want to do some things with types later. So move rate, we'll just keep it the normal rate, and move type, we're gonna call this dirt, because there's going to be dirt. So this actually highlighted red, and what I had done is down here in these macros you can actually set some constants, and constants are just variables with a pre-assigned values. And in here I've created a set of dirt, mud, ice for the different types of things we've done. So if you're going to go this way, you can either just use numerics up in your code, or you can look at using constants across the application. And the advantage to using constants is you can just reference, it's more readable. The disadvantages of using constants is you really need to have different values for each one. So I think we'll try here. So if we were going to try, unrelated to the movement, we're going to create a jump. I don't think I can assign. Let's see what else. Yeah, it's not. I guess I can. It's just not advised to always have the same values for different things. You want to change the different values. So right now we're going to create some constants for the types of ground we have. So dirt, ice, mud. And by default, we're going to use it as dirt, just a representation of the regular ground. So going back over to our mud, what we're going to do is make this a parent. So the ground rate. This piece of mud has ground rate. So we're already calling it the create event within ground rate first. So we're creating our variables, and then down here we're going to looks like I already coded it. Update move rate. So in here we're going to say this type is mud, and this the move rate is half the rate in this case. So we're going to go over here and we're going to create create ice. I had created an ice sprite. Now we're going to create an ice puddle. We'll call it that. And we're going to create this ice puddle, and we're going to give it a parent of being grind rate. We're going to create a create event, because normally we can just put it in the picture and nothing will happen. I'm going to put it in here. We're going to call the parent to make sure we set the variables. And now we're going to initialize object. So we're going to say move rate equals 3. So when you're on ice, you're going to move a lot faster in this case. And type, we're going to create ice. The other thing I think I don't have in here is we want to make sure no, we don't want depth. We don't put depth on here because we always want it in the background where like the trees or other objects we want to be able to walk behind. So we don't set the depth here because we want it behind everything because we're walking on top of it. So in the mud, we've updated the move rate, made it mud. Here we've got a new move rate and a type. So let's go back to our character. So what are we going to do with the character? So if we aren't being blocked from our movement, now we're going to say if we meet our feet, which is our position, because that's where we put our X and Y on our characters, is at the character's feet. I'm going to say if at our feet we get a ground rate, So at the grind, if we don't meet the grind rate, so this will be our true statement, true portion, and our false. We're gonna, yeah, nice spelling. False. We're gonna change our move rate back to the base move rate. So we know where we're going to go the next time we go around, we'll have a step and we'll be at our normal rate. So here we're going to say our move rate is going to be alright, let's see, instance, find, is that the one what we want to do? Okay, we're going to do an instance at a position. So we're looking for where we're going. Because we know we're going to get here, and this will be our new move rate. So we're going to get the instance, it's essentially the first instance at the next position. So we're going to get we're going to get our, we'll just call it object. So we're going to say our move rate is our object, move rate. We'll call it ground. Make it, because that is what we are testing, is the ground. So let's go back over this. We don't have a parentheses. So if this highlights red, that means there's a syntax error before you try to run anything. So you can try to adjust that. So we've got our new position. We're going to go try and make sure we can get there. If we can get there and it's a new ground rate, which is a new move rate, we're going to find what the ground is and set our move rate to that, and then we're going to move to our original position because it'll be our first step there. After that, we will have a new move rate, and then it will apply the same way as when you're getting off. So let's go ahead and try that to make sure that works. Yeah. So we got our character. He walks across the. And he slows, as you can see, he slows down once he gets to the mud. Let's go ahead and add ice to the room. An ice puddle. We'll just add a little bit of an ice puddle there. Let's actually make this a little bit bigger. Oh, we want to change the instance. So our ice puddle. Oh, I need to go back here and make sure it's precise because when we walk through, we want it to be precise. It's like the mud. We're doing precise because it's a different shape. So our character, he moves around. We change our speed. Oh, yeah, that's pretty fast, that setting. But, whoa. It's not bad when you go across this way, but it's still a little fast, I think. Let's crank it down. Let's just make him double the rate. Yeah, there we go. He goes across pretty well. Go down. Now if you were creating a race, different obstacles could give you different advantages. So that's really what we're trying to get at, is just being able to make it a little more realistic, to get places, move throughout our world just a little, give it a little more life than just a character on the screen. So you should be able to apply different, create different types of ground now, and move on. Good luck coding, and until next time. See you.